I listen to your music and everything, and it sounds like healing, which made me think about, for you, do you receive healing through music, and how do you think music heals as a whole for people?
So I receive healing all the time from music. So sometimes I'll listen to like just meditation music, and I hear healing through the vibes, the sound effects, the chords.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Michael Jamil, jazz saxophonist / producer, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the Hot Tea and Incense podcast. And I'm joined by a singer, DJ, songwriter, producer, anything else?
That's it.
Promise, y'all. Promise. Y'all give it up.
Hey, everybody.
Yes, sir. How you feeling?
I'm good. I like the environment of tea and incense. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I kind of stumbled into it, and I ain't stopped it since. It's definitely a stress reliever.
Cute.
So before we jump into the topics, because I'm ready to jump in, we're going to read the tea captions first. So let's see what mine says. Breath is the voice of your soul. That's good. What does yours say?
Mine says, what can you appreciate in this moment? It's really interesting to ask that.
What can we appreciate in this moment? The
Should
fellowship.
Yeah.
The fellowship for sure.
Yeah, I think this is probably the first time I've had a podcast done on me.
Oh, really?
And anything. I think that's awesome. So I appreciate
I'm glad
that.
I could be your first.
Yeah.
We're going to make this a special occasion. We're going to make it really unique and legendary. So, let's jump in with the first topic. When and how did you fall in love with music? Because clearly you have a love for music.
I do. I really do. It's a deep, strong passion. I developed it when I was younger. My story's a little bit deep, but I grew up a little different than the average people would think. But I still found a love for music. I was introduced by going to church. My dad.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. My father, his brother, is a pastor, and we went to his church, and he had these musicians that were just awesome. And I just admired from afar a guy on the organ and the piano. And like I just fell in love with everything, the instrumentation.
In church?
Yes, in church. I was 4 years old. I remember that.
Oh, you was 4?
Yeah, I was 4 years old.
Wow.
And I fell in love with music ever since. I said, I want to be like him. And I was talking about the pianist.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Once you made that decision, was it like you immediately locked in on that for as your focus from that point on? So like when you were going through middle school and high school, you just knew music was what you wanted to do?
I knew really through my mother. So my mother is also an artist.
Okay. So
she started singing. She had she was part of this record label, and then she built her LLC. And I admired that since I was like 8 or 9, and I used to sing. I used to have this talent show, they called it, where my family used to gather together in the living room, and they used to put like a bowl or something, a hat, and they used to donate money for me singing. And I was always shy, so I told people like turn their heads or close your eyes, and I would sing for them. And I still have some videos of that. But I really started loving music, like loving music, and I recorded my first song when I was 10 with my sister. I still have it.
What's the name of it?
It's called Playing Games. I don't know why I was 10 talking about playing games.
Stop playing games. I feel that. I made something similar to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I was 10 years old, but I made a song with my sister. She's also a singer. And I started doing like the harmonies and stuff myself, and my mother was like crying of like joy, like, oh my gosh, she really does music. So they bought me a keyboard, like a small like mini keyboard, And then when I was 14, my father bought me this big Yamaha keyboard. I started playing by ear, and then I knew I just wanted to go to school for music. I just knew it. Like anything that I would hear that sounded so like what do you call it? I don't know. Just music. Just I hear it and I love it. And I fall in love with anything like music. Musically.
So music has your heart.
It does. It's
yeah. Likewise, I know the feeling.
Yeah.
You know, music is there when people aren't a lot of times.
For sure.
And it's just that release. So believe it or not, you know, I know a lot on this podcast we talk about stuff you can do to relieve stress. But just doing music for the artist is a amazing way to relieve stress. You said something though. Oh yeah, when you was 10 recording. Those early recordings, man, be so lit when you go back and listen to them, and you just see the growth.
Yeah.
But it was like, I was still lit back then though. You know what I mean? Cause like I had a similar experience. My dad gave me like this Pro Tools fast track, and I was recording in my bedroom at my mama's house, and I'm recording the whole album, just going in, right? And so my stepdad, it was a light switch where you hit the light switch and the whole electricity in the room cut off. So it'd be like 12 o'clock. He'd come in there and be like, click. It was like, man, it's too late to be done. The level of anger, it was like, dog, I'm in the middle of a classic. Word. Oh, so that just brings us right to the next topic. I listen to your music and everything, and it sounds like healing, which made me think about, for you, do you receive healing through music? And how do you think music heals as a whole for people?
So I receive healing all the time from music. So sometimes I'll listen to like just meditation music. And I hear healing through the vibes, the sound effects, the chords, the just the way it's put together, and like it sounds like somebody actually took the time to make it feel like they put a feeling in it. So that's what music is to me. Like music is a feeling. Sometimes it's just a message, but in all, it's a deep feeling of however you felt. You put it you compose it into a beautiful piece of your thoughts or your feel for it. So, and what was the second question?
How do you think it heals as a whole?
Oh yeah, so
but I guess you answered both of those in one.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Yeah, but that's fire. That's fire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna touch on the song that I like. I know after I met you, and I meet this girl out, and I'm like, okay, she does music. So I go to the music, and I'm like, what the heck is this? Because in this time, there's so much stressful stuff going on. It was just like, this is nice. Which is, what's it called? Highway? Highway. What's Highway. The whole EP called?
It's called A Journey Through Life.
A Journey Through Life. And the one I like is Highway. But what inspired that EP, and what inspired that song specifically?
So the EP, I was just going through transitions in my life of like really who I am, what I want to be, what I want to give off, and what people see me as. And like, so A Journey Through Life is basically what I was going through. A build up of all this time, and like finding myself really. And so that album is also a story. I went through some deep thoughts, just understanding myself spiritually. That's really what it touches on, like spirituality, and just finding my inner spirit, because, you know.
What kind of thoughts?
Just on like how to better myself, and how to become more one with my spirit, because a lot of people don't acknowledge the fact that your spirit is a person too. So Like I was saying, like flesh is flesh. Anybody can see you as flesh. Like when you walk in the room, that's your flesh and what you're giving off. But your spirit is the inner aura that you have, and how they really see your soul, like not just your, So.
So you wanted to master your spirit, essentially.
Yes, I had to get to meet her. I had to get to know her because it's somewhere deep down that she was just kind of tucked away, and I had to bring her out because I'm growing up now. I just need to know certain things, and I need to just figure out who I am. So you knowing your spirit, your alter ego, and your flesh is 3 in 1, and so that's basically what my album was about.
So since we're touching on all this spirituality, we talked about meditation, and we kind of touched on it on the last episode as well. But I'm kind of still in that mode because it don't just happen overnight, So you kind of get different perspectives on how this person does it, how this person does it. So how did you get into meditation, and how do you do it? And what does it do for you?
I got into meditating by listening to certain artists that really kind of spoke on it briefly, or they didn't go into depth about it, but you can tell it was definitely spoken about. So
like music, musical artists,
definitely
about it.
Yes. I had to get into it, and that helped me. Dope. That helped me so much. Like Janae, she's obviously like so spiritual, and she's my favorite artist. I just love everything about her, and she literally introduced me to spirituality, especially with her Trip album. I don't know if you've heard that one,
I have,
but that album is so crazy. Like, and I went through so many things. Just listening to it, like hearing her story and hearing what she went through on her trip, and it inspired me a lot to like tap into my inner self. So I started like meditating and listening to her music, and I felt so different. Like I felt a transitioning happen. Like
it ain't scary?
No, I had some scary moments in the past. I did.
Lord Jesus,
I did.
Help.
But I think that you're always gonna go through something scary that you gotta kind of overcome. But I just love who I met, and I met my like inner deep spirit. Like I unlocked a room where she was shut the whole time, and like I let her out, and I put that in my music, and so that's why my music is a little deep for people. So people like you're so deep, like especially when they hear the song called "Free Spirit." That song kind of touches into like what I learned from spirituality. But I think that meditating is important because like how else will you know how to deal with your inner self? Because like I go back to this, but it's not all about flesh. It's all about your life revolves on earth. It's very flesh, but like inner work, like when you're like mad or like dealing with something, like you got a lot going on, how do you know how to handle it? You got to meditate it out. And then when you do, like you know how to work on it after you meditate. It just comes to you. So I think it's important.
So that's what I'm gonna start then, because you giving me an idea.
Yeah.
We're gonna start a meditation crusade, right? We're gonna go to all the jobs, and everybody that's going out to smoke a cigarette, we're gonna say, take a meditation break. Like, hey, boss, hold on. You just say, I need a meditation break.
Hey, I think that'll work.
Go outside and you sit on the ground.
That'll be great. I would love to see that.
I
would love to see that.
Word. So, promise. That reminds me of that Sierra song. That's what I hear when you say promise. But how did you come up with that name? Because that's kind of unique.
Thank you. So my legal middle name is Promise.
Middle name. Okay.
Yeah. So why not use that? It just resonates when you say it in a way that describes me anyway. You think of promise, you think of like security, you think of like, I don't know, just safe.
Or
genuine.
you think of a promise too, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when you think of the word promise, you think of like somebody who got your back, or like somebody who's just very authentic, or like
Authentic.
yeah. So that describes me anyway, and it's crazy. Like my parents named me Promise, and so I took that and I was like, yeah, let's use that. You know.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah.
I think just saying it by itself too is fire, because it's just like, it's kind of how John is just John.
Yeah.
But it's like promise.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's all you're gonna give us is promise. Not Promise Jackson.
No.
Promise Jefferson or something.
No, just
promise.
Just promise.
Word, that's fire. Okay, so one thing I did notice too about you, since I we kind of bumped into each other, every time I link with you, you always have really warm, positive energy. But it's like in a stressful, depression type time. And so it's a contrast from a lot of other places you go to see somebody that remains so positive. So my question for you is, how do you remain so positive in such a negative time?
I mean,
Is it the meditation?
It's the meditation.
Okay.
Also, it's just trusting that everything is going to be okay. Like, stuff is not the end of the world. Things happen, and you learn from the lessons that it gives you. Life gives you lessons. And so if you don't, like, why are you going to sit in your problems when there's so much else to do? Like, you're just going to become the energy that you give off because you sit in it. So, yeah, I can have things going on. I have things going on right now, but like that'll never show because it's gonna be okay. Prayer is powerful, and everything takes its time, but it works out in the end. So
yeah,
that's what I think.
So I think like kind of even balancing everything you're saying is like just having that inner practice or game plan to deal with all these different emotions and energy is definitely essential.
Right.
Because, like, stuff is bound to happen. And, anxiety, they kind of label it anxiety, but it's just life, really. And stress. And, like, I used to drink to deal with it, but it's like certain people can handle certain things. That's not one thing I can handle. Because it's almost like my drive is too strong for that. Because I'm like, every day. We hitting every day. So with me, the tea, you know what I mean, prayer, I've been bathing regularly, like just soaking in the bathtub, relaxing and just kind of de-stressing from the day.
Yeah, that's the way
Get my rev run on,
meditating,
yeah. I be texting and everything. No, I'm just But yeah, I think just having some way to do that, man. So just for all the people listening and viewing online, make your own game plan. But make sure it's natural, make sure it's healthy, because you're not gonna always be able to depend on this pill or that substance or this narcotic. You want to have a game plan where it's just you and yourself and God. That's first. That being said, I didn't even share the news. So, I don't know if y'all been tuning in, but Romance in Heaven, my biggest show of the year is February 19th. Legendary cast. Just John doing vocals. My guy Trey Jones, Quincy Carr hosting it. Paris Majestic gonna be doing the live art. And I just added Promise to open the show. So
yeah, I'm ready for it.
It's gonna be lit.
Yeah, I'm excited.
How excited are you?
I am very excited. This is gonna be like a really big show for you and myself.
Facts.
But yeah, I'm excited. I really love the fact that he contacted me on my own song to perform. I think that's pretty dope. Like no one really does that, and to have that offer, I think that was awesome. So I really appreciate that.
No,
Really do.
already. I say it was God tugging at my spirit. Cause I was going like, I was trying to figure out how to fit you into the show, but give you like, cause I really liked the song. But it was like, I ain't want, do you want to just book it for one song or something, you know what I mean? But I was like going back and forth. But then it was like every week something kept saying, promise, get on the show. So I was like, all right, Lord, I'm gonna at least reach out and see what she say, cause I ain't know if you was gonna be with it. But so I'm glad you did sign on and was with it. But I did want to ask you, so what's next for you personally with music? Do you have anything else coming out?
So yeah, I'm working on the second album now.
Ooh, got a name?
So there's so many things, so many topics I'm talking about. I don't even know what to call it yet. But I have 7 songs on that album.
Okay.
3 of them already recorded. And yeah, I'm gonna think of a name. I came up with some names, but I don't want to share it yet.
Okay.
But
the next dimension.
Yeah, maybe.
Good vibes.
Yeah. So.
Where will shout your IG out so they can follow you.
Oh yeah, my IG is Written by Promise. RITTEN by Promise. And that's all platforms is Written by Promise.
Word. So yeah, check out the EP, man. Check her out on IG. Positive vibes in this negative time. Thank you for tuning into the Hot Tea and Incense podcast. Enjoy your night, your evening, and your mornings whenever you're listening. Sip slow.